Hi everyone, my name is Vanessa. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to film a get ready with me because it's the 31st of December and I'm really excited because the new year is starting, and I think it's fair to say that this year has been rough for a lot of people. But yeah, I guess this year just taught everyone to be grateful for what we have and not take so many things for granted in our everyday lives. Like literally so many tiny things that we used to be able to do and then it was like taken away from us. But of course that was all for our safety. So as you can tell, I'm just excited to be done with this year. And yeah, and let's just get to filming makeup. So I started off already by putting on the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. I put it on all my face. Okay, and then next I'm gonna be going in with my MAC Pro Longwear Paint Pot in Soft Ochre is the tone, all over my eyes. And here, let me bring my mirror a little closer. I'll be using the Morphe Jaclyn Hill small palette. Gosh, I forgot what this one is called, but it's like the purple and pinks one right here. And I'm gonna go into the color called Hush Hush. And I'll put this into the crease. I think I want to add some warmth to it, so I'm gonna go in with the Marvelous Mauves palette from Dose of Colors. I'm gonna grab a smaller fluffy brush. I'm kind of gonna pass it over the area that I just worked on, but a little bit higher, just so you can see a little bit of that warmth peeking through. So let's go in with the third shade in the Marvelous Mauves palette right here. You know, I stopped doing my makeup for fun because of like school and just being busy all the time. And I realized that I really miss it. I feel like it's like one of my hobbies that I used to do all the time. Like I'm literally talking like since I was like 8 or 9 years old. I would play around with makeup just for fun, like after school when I would have time. And now I just don't do that. I think life kind of wears you out and you just kind of want to relax whenever you can. But I'm really enjoying doing my makeup right now, and just I feel like I need to get back to doing that more often just for fun. But then like with this year and the pandemic, I feel since like a lot of us weren't going out, in the beginning I would do my makeup as like a way to keep myself more upbeat and just like, again, like a stress relief. But then the more you live inside, the more you're like, what's the point? So I feel like I got to that mindset for most of the year. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and grab the shade Ballsy right here. That name though. And I think I'm gonna spray my brush with some MAC Fix Plus. And I'll place it right in the center. Yeah, the shade isn't that bright, so I think I will need to brighten it up with the other pink. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the shade Bling Bling right here. The shade is really pretty. It's like a cool toned pink, which I feel like it's kind of difficult to find because most of the pinks that I have in my other palettes or just like single shadows tend to be like this one from Colourpop. Here, can you see it? Which is more like a warmer pink. Same with this one from Lancome. They're definitely warmer, like golden pinks, which are really pretty, but this particular pink from the Jaclyn Hill palette is very unique. I'm gonna go back in, but this time with the fourth shade in this palette to kind of deepen up the crease a little bit. But I do have to be careful with this color because I know this shade is very dark. Like, these eyeshadows are really pigmented, and I'm surprised they're working really nicely right now in combination with the Jaclyn Hill palette, because what I've noticed with the Marvelous Mauves palette in the past is that it tends to work better by itself. I feel like I've had issues in the past blending the eyeshadows in this palette with like others. I don't know why, but that's just something I noticed, and I feel like I stopped using it for that reason. But it seems to be working really well with the other eyeshadow palettes, so I'm glad. I'm gonna go back in with that light pink. Let me zoom you guys in to show you kind of how it's looking so far. And then I'm gonna try to just tap it in the center. You guys, I used to have a nose piercing. I got it like, I think like 4 months ago. Let me tell you, it was a pain to like just have, like maintain in general, because I would clean it up like I was supposed to all the time, and I would still get those stupid keloids. And then the other day by accident, I like scratched my nose. You would think by now I would stop doing that, right? But it's hard. Like your body just knows that there's something there. Like you can feel it. And I pulled it out and I couldn't get it back in. It's just like, it was like an L-shaped one. And I had already switched it out once. Which technically you're probably not supposed to do at that early of a stage, but it had already fallen out. Like the first one they put in had fallen out one time, and I just lost it. But yeah, it was just a pain. I couldn't get it back in, and I was like, all right, screw it. I'm kind of over it now. I think I had fun with it while I could, while I had it, I guess, but I don't think I want to get it again. I don't know. I'll have to see in the future, but for now, I'm just gonna let it close, I think. But yeah, so if you see like where it used to be, there's like red right now, it's because it's healing and I don't want to mess with it. So yeah, I'm gonna take the pink shade, the second shade from the Marvelous Mauves palette, and then I'm gonna go in with the third shade in the palette, which was like that more purple neutral shade right here. And then I'll be going in with this one if I feel I need it. But honestly, yeah, I'll put a little bit of that fourth shade. I'm gonna bring in another palette to this look. Let's use the Naked 2 palette. And I'm gonna dip into this shade right here. And my camera died, so I'm back with a new battery. I'm gonna use the NYX Micro Brow Pencil in the shade Ash Brown. I don't like my pencils to be too warm tone, so that's why I got Ash Brown. Use the Benefit Gimme Brow in the shade 4.5. You know, I had the shade 3, I think it was, in the past, and I really liked it. Sometimes I'll just find myself just using this by itself and no pencil. And as much as I've tried looking for dupes for this product, I really feel like I haven't found a nice one. Now for the brow highlight, I'm gonna go in with the Naked palette again with the shade Foxy, which is that very first shade. Another classic shade that I really like. We'll be using the Covergirl, I'm pretty sure it's called the Covergirl Get in Line liner. It doesn't say on here, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. It is a really, really nice matte eyeliner. One thing about this eyeliner though is that it does take a little bit of time to dry. So just beware. I feel like my wing looks more like how do I explain it? Like whoop, which like it's supposed to look like that, but I kind of like my wings looking less curved and more sharp. So I will be mixing two products for the face because the one I have is way too dark. It's the L'Oreal Infallible Freshwear. Yeah, it is called Freshwear foundation. I love this foundation, honestly. I think that it lasts really well. And the texture is very thin, so it doesn't feel heavy on your skin at all. And the coverage is amazing for it being so thin. In the beginning, when I first tested it out, I really I thought it was weird that it was so thin because I wasn't used to it, but then I grew to really enjoy that. This one in particular is in the shade 460, but like I said, this is way too dark for me right now. So I will be combining it with the LA Girl Pro Coverage Foundation or base in white. But yeah, so I'm just dotting this all over the face, and I think this is my right shade. So what I did was I just put one pump, like a small pump of the L'Oreal foundation, and then a nice generous pump of the white foundation. And I'm gonna be using a brush. My lips are gonna look like they disappeared, so sorry and not sorry, but I'll fix that. Okay. I'm gonna be combining two concealers today. Usually I just use one or the other, but I've come to realize that the first one is the Covergirl Trublend Undercover Concealer. There it is. I have it in the shade Classic Ivory, but it is a little bit too brightening for me on its own, so I'm going to combine it with the Bareminerals Bareskin Foundation and Light. And this is a complete coverage serum concealer. I really enjoy this concealer. I actually really like it. It's not as full coverage as the Covergirl one, but it's definitely less like mattifying, and I think that since my skin gets very dry in the winter, it just really helps my eyes not to look as like crepey, you know? And then I'm gonna grab my e.l.f. sponge and blend them in. I'm gonna go in with a e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer in Medium Peach. I'm really just going to use this to add some coverage to like these areas. I feel like that's where I have a little of like discoloration and stuff, so. And this concealer is like the shade of my skin, like my foundation, so it'll blend in nicely, I think. Alright, and I'm really excited because I think I'm going to test out something new today. This is a Halo Glow Setting Powder. I got it in the shade Light. It was out of stock for a while, and then I finally got my hands on it through Ulta's website. So I'm going to use a brush and I'll place this powder in my under eyes. You know, since my skin gets really dry, the other day I used just the Covergirl Trublend Concealer without setting it, and it works surprisingly well. I mean, it creased, but it wasn't anything that I couldn't just tap out with my finger. And because it's like basically matte on its own, it looked like I had set it. So I don't know, maybe if you have that concealer and you don't like how sometimes it can look a little bit drying, maybe try that, because that worked really well for me the other day. And as far as this powder, I think it looks pretty nice. It's not sticking to any areas under my eye. It doesn't look very heavy. I don't see the glow quite yet, but maybe if I put it on the rest of my face, I'll be able to tell better. I mean, yeah, it doesn't look too powdery, so I think I like it. But again, I'll have to keep using it because it's the first time I've used it. Moving on to some contouring. We're going to go ahead and use the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. I know now it's KVD Beauty. So I'm going to combine the middle shade and the more neutral, like cooler tone shade. I do want to do a little bit of nose contouring, but I'm going to do that with a butter bronzer. I actually really like doing this. And then I have this brush, which works great for this actually. It's for the eyes, but it's like nice and fluffy and it's kind of like elongated. But I like using this bronzer for the nose because it's not too warm and it's not as cool tone or heavy as a contour shade. So it looks quite nice in my opinion. So my two options are this Milani Rose Powder Blush in the shade Romantic Rose, or I could use this blush from Lancome called Sheer Amourose, I think. I think this one's a little bit warmer. But you know, I think we're going to use a Lancome one. So let's go ahead and dust some of this on the cheeks. You know, typically I don't really set my face, my entire face, with powder just because I feel like you're already putting so many other powder products on top. Unless I'm using a really light coverage foundation and I feel like I need to put a powder foundation, then I'll do that. But otherwise, no. I feel like eyelash curlers, for me, since I use them every day, the little gum, like rubber part inside, I feel like that always runs out so fast. Like it gets old so fast. I will be going in with the listen, I don't know how to pronounce this, so don't make fun of me, but I think it's called Monsieur big lash, oh no, it's just called Monsieur Big. Okay, Monsieur Big eyelash or mascara from Lancome. For the bottom lashes, I'm gonna be using a mascara from MAC. What is it called? It doesn't say. It says in extreme dimension at the bottom, but it doesn't say like the name around it. It looks like this though. I'm not sure what the name of this one is. This one did a good job for the bottom lashes. I have really long bottom lashes, so I really like defining those with like lengthening mascaras. And then the top eyelashes, I'd rather use like volumizing mascaras on. Let's try these from Colourpop. I literally just ordered them recently. These are the Colourpop falsies called Queenie. These look really nice. Like they don't look too dense, but they look nice and like fluttery, and they look like real hair, you know, which is something that I like in my lashes. That's why I like Kiss lashes so much, because they have some that are made out of real hair, and trust me, it makes a difference. I feel like I can tell when someone's wearing some that are not real hair because they don't look as see, I'm trying them on. I think I might trim them like the slightest bit. But anyway, what I was saying was that you can definitely tell because other lashes that are not made out of like real hair, they don't look as like tapered and thin at the end. So this is a strip lash adhesive from Kiss in the color black. And this is the one that has like the brush, which is what I like. I remember when I first started wearing lashes, I bought like one of those duo glues, like in the little tubes, squeezy tubes, because that's what I saw everyone on YouTube using, you know? Like I started watching YouTube videos way early, like when I was like really young, and because I'm so old now. I'm just kidding, guys. Anyway, and that's what everyone would use back then, but I came to the realization that I hate it. It would make such a mess, and it was just like, it was too much trouble. It was not worth it. So that's why I always get the ones with a little brush. But wow, these lashes look so pretty. You guys, They look full, but they, like, you can still see my makeup underneath them. I am amazed. My headband is like giving me a headache. Wow, Vanessa, your hair looks great. What the? Highlighter is one of those things for me that I feel like everyone hypes up, and I do like how it looks, but then on me particularly, my skin tone is warm, but it's also not warm enough to match the shades that a lot of companies bring out, like all those golden shades. Those are way too dark for me. I have like this pink highlighter, and that's too dark for me. Like, it just doesn't look right. So the most recent highlighter that I bought and that I feel like kind of looks better on my skin is a Mary Luminizer. I know this is like a total throwback, but listen, I think that this is nice. I don't know what to wear for the lips because I think I want to do a nude, but I want it to have like some shade of pink. I'm going to get the Stila liquid lipstick in Caramello, in Spanish it would be caramelo. I don't know, but this one is very light, so I have to be a little careful with this one. But now I'm gonna go in with the Buxom gloss in Dolly. It's kind of like a purpley pink shade. You guys, this looks really good on top of that caramelo. It makes it look more pink, definitely. I think this is it for today. I'm gonna go ahead and straighten my hair, which I won't film because I feel like that's like, it's kind of boring. Like, there's not much to straightening your hair, you know? But I really hope that everyone has a really happy start to their New Year's. I don't think I'll be putting this video up until after New Year's, obviously, because I'm filming on the 31st. But I hope that everyone had a really great New Year's festivities. I hope that you relaxed and you actually took it and enjoyed it at home with your loved ones. And I wish everyone the best year. I think we all deserve it. And yeah, so thank you for watching. And thanks for just, you know, hanging out with me and just watching me do my makeup. I really just do this as a hobby, and I know a lot of people enjoy watching it like me. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.